Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Courage Rain back up in this. So, I want to touch on something I probably didn't touch on the last videos too much because I just kind of been random lately, and I like being random right now, like just touching on different things. So, what I was talking about, what I wanted to talk about was how with these 44 states marrying children, right? With the 44 states marrying children, there is got to be one child married to an adult out of the laws passed. There's some child right now, in other words, married to an adult somewhere. So why you think that none of this is really going on? Somebody's married to a child right now. Somebody's married to a child right now. And if something needs to be done, it can be done for that one child that's somewhere married to an adult. So there's at least one pedophile union between an adult and a child. There's at least one. There's at least one. And like I said, if anything needs to be done, it could at least be done for one child right now. There's somewhere. If they making all these laws, you got, let's look at all the laws. You got 40 states with the age of consent under 18. You got that, right? You got 44 states with child marriage. That's a second law. Then you have the law passed under the Trump administration that allows 20 states to marry children at any age. Right? So you don't think there's no unions, no pedophile unions out of that? All those laws all across the country. 44 states marrying children. The age of consent under 18 in 40 states. Right? You don't think it's not one child married. That's ridiculous. You know it is. Whether you think it's rare or not, it's happening. And that's the bottom line. So if let's put it in the case where you knew in this country, because we esteem individually uh, problems as significant. So in other words, if you knew there was some little girl named Cindy that was married to some creep, it would be all over CNN, and you would try to be saved. You would be trying to save Wendy, right? Cindy, right? If we knew about a little girl that was married to a fully grown man, boom. If we knew about it, it would be all over CNN. We're trying to save Cindy. Operation Save Cindy. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Man, you know how y'all get down. That'd be all over CNN. That'd be all everywhere. You would have coverage on the state of Cindy married to some guy. It would be a big deal. Then why ain't a big deal when you got 44 states marrying children? Because it's not convenient for it's not convenient for it to be a big deal because it works in my favor. It works in my favor, not in yours. It shows you that, hey, you were the one, the pedophiles. That's why y'all all quiet. You don't know what to do you? Keep it 100. I know where you at. You don't know what to do. Because you know I don't like you. You already know that. You already know I don't like these people. And for good reason. Because you the one, the pedophiles. And you ain't even know it. And you should be educated on it. Hey, a whole culture comes and goes, the end of the world, and nobody knows that the age of consent has never been under 18 in all 50 states. The whole country comes and goes, and nobody knows. That's unacceptable. That's ignorance beyond belief. That's ignorance beyond belief, man. That's unbelievable ignorance. That's unacceptable. That brings about destruction. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. A whole country comes and goes. A whole country comes and goes, and nobody knows that through me. That's how they know. I'm the one to reveal it. No one else knows this. 40 states married children. 44 states married children. I think you think I'm touchable. I think you can play with me. I feel that you think you can play with me. You're so close to a total annihilation, and you don't even know it. Like I told, look, things are going to be done on my terms, not on yours. And here's the real reason why. Because it never worked. So why would I put things on your terms when it never worked? When you have been a failure to us, you failed everybody. So why would I incorporate you into what I'm doing? It doesn't make sense to me. You failed. Why I'm picking you up? If it was football or basketball, you was a complete failure. So why would I draft you? I'm my own man. I ain't working for you. Who you thought I was working for you? That's funny to me. But I ain't working for you. I am not working for you. I'm not fasting for you. I am not praying for you. I am not doing anything. I'm not giving to ministries for your country. I'm not doing anything for you. This is not your program, buddy. I'm running this show. And if you try to play with me like these other people did, I'm going to make another example out of you. Hey, I'm not playing. And maybe it's the baby face that's fooling you. Maybe it's my young looks. Maybe it's like Star Wars with Darth Vader. How when he faced the first villain, he says, "Hey," he says, "you look younger. I expected someone with your reputation to be a little older." That's what he said about Anakin. I expected someone with your reputation to be a little older. Well, unfortunately, I'm not that old. But you're going to respect me, and you're going to respect my wishes. And if you don't, because of my age, I'm going to make you pay. I have the power to make you pay. Through Christ, you will pay. I don't care if you think I'm unsound or not. I don't care if you think I've gone off the deep end. It's happening. It's happening. So it'd be one thing if I was sitting up here talking and wasn't nothing going on. That part. But unfortunately for you, many things are going on and not for your favor. See, playtime is over. So all that little hood stuff, I already addressed that. All your little street people, man, you're out of league. I don't care what you think. You think the streets rule? As far as being down to earth, you might rule. You understand what the world is about, the struggle is about, poverty is about, what life consists of. You might rule as far as understanding the life, but you don't rule as far as power. You know how quick these government people can roll up you what you call the streets? Buddy, if the let's keep it 100. Let's keep it factual. All you gangsters and all you street people, if the military moved in on you, you'd be done. I don't care how much gangster you got. If the military comes in and wants you, it's over. It's absolutely over. All your street thug credentials, all your little guns, which is the equivalent of bop guns, or pop guns in that case, all your little guns ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just letting you know where you're at. As you're surrounded. You thought it was me, it's you. First of all, you're surrounded by the National Guard. Yeah, a lot of y'all are not conscious of National Guard all throughout the country. I'm not. Look, man. I know what's going on. Why you think you surrounded me? You surrounded by National Guard. You can't see me, man. I'm keeping 100. I'm telling you like you need to hear it because you think you can see me. For you to be here, I perceive it as you think you on my level. You ain't doing what I'm doing. So it's your arrogance. It's your arrogance that have brought you here to see me, to play with me, and you dying as a result. It's not for free. It's not for free. It's not for free. So, 44 states marrying children. 44 states married children. You don't think there's any little Cindy that's out there that is married to some man and he's having sex with her every day? And if the resignation of this country, if there wasn't a reason to make this country resign, if there wasn't a reason for this resignation, other than more at a minimum of for any other reason than one child being in a union like Cindy, being in the union, right? It's a reason for just her. And there is some little Cindy out there. Make sure, look, realize that it's happening to one child. And what if that was your child? See, you want to ignore it as a community because it shames you so bad. I understand. It shames you. All that you've been doing, all that you did against me. And then when you thought you had me, boom, like a 12 gauge to the chest. You know what a 12 gauge will do to about somebody's chest? I don't care how bad you think you are. You know what a 12 gauge will do to your chest? Boom! That's over. That's what this is. This is the equivalent of the 12 gauge to the chest. 44 states married children. That's a 12 gauge to the chest, partner. You could try to ignore it. You could try to act like it's not that bad. But it is. It's severing to the country. It's severing to the whole country. You lose. So why would I do things your way? You just lost. You got 44 states married children. You failed us all. You failed me. You failed your whole community. The last law was put into action less than 3 years ago under the Trump administration. And I just looked up today that every bill has to be considered by the president. It has to be. So that means the Pacific, I got to be Pacific, the Pacific bill of Donald Trump, of 20 states marrying children at any age. This is the worst law so far. This is the worst law up to date, in my opinion. Well, the age of consent under 18, the lowest age of consent world record is the worst. 7-year-old children, people could have sex with 7-year-old children in 1880. That's the worst bill ever passed for children, against children. And just in case you're the type of people, you think you're the type of society that well, we're going to protect our children. We're going to protect our children from people that we think are going to kill them. Well, your country has your children in harm's way every day, right or wrong. So adults being able to marry children in 20 states, with at any age, that's not having your children in harm's way. That's not your children being in harm's way. They can marry your children at any age at this point. That law was passed under the Trump administration. And I looked and I seen that the president he or she is required to see every law, review every law. So Donald Trump reviewed 20 states marrying children at no minimum age. I can't make this up. The president has to review the laws. I looked it up. So this is not based off, like I tell people all the time, my videos are not conspiracy theories. That's why you don't hear me talk about crazy stuff. You don't hear me talk about aliens. You don't hear me talk about Area 51. You don't hear me talk about the Bohemian Grove. What goes on out there. You don't hear me talk about any of the things that many people have covered that you respect. But you don't hear me talking about it, do you? That's what I'm saying. And look, as soon as you hear me talking, you think it's I'm talking as among conspiracy theorists. I'm in a completely different lane. First of all, I'm telling you something that none of these conspiracy theories have told you. Alex Jones didn't tell you this. Did Alex Jones tell you 44 states marry children? At all? He calls everybody in the government a pedophile. I heard him. I used to listen to him. And and it's no disrespect, because I feel that his fight is real. I feel that he's trying to bring about freedom for the people. I feel that's what he's trying to do. However, he's ignorant too. He didn't know 44 states were marrying children. He got all this radio hour time, and you never covered that. But you call it all these politicians were pedophiles, but yet you don't reveal the pedophile laws. So you're just wasting time, bro. Man, with your platform and how big your mouth is, if you had this information, we would have been so much further along. You just wasted time, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And you compare me to the likes of these conspiracy theorists, people. When they ain't talking about what I'm talking about, so how we the same? You think I'm using this as a gimmick? This is a campaign. This ain't no gimmick. This is the resignation of this country. Whether you accept it or come to terms with it or not, better pack your stuff. That's all I'm telling you. I don't know where you're going, but you're leaving here. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. That government's leaving here. I don't know where they're going. And I don't know what you're gonna do. But anybody that played with me like that, personally speaking, yeah, I take it personal. You sit up and call me this, that, and the third, said I was a pedophile, but we find out that you are marrying children? Yeah, you're right, I take it personal. And you cannot take it personal as I do. You can't. You can't take it personal. How are you going to take it personal like me and you ain't been through it? So all we have here is people just avoiding the inevitable. We're not in the same place. We're in the place now where you are officially revealed as a country passing laws for children to be brides of men in 44 states. That's where we at. Maybe I need to update you because you kind of slow. And no disrespect to people that may have a low IQ. You're slow because there's no excuse. That's the situation. That's the situation. So you can say I'm in a contest. I ain't in no contest with these Americans. None of them. They're all under my rule. How am I in contest with you when you're an ignorant person riding around under 44 states marrying children? How are you in contest with me and I'm the one that revealed it? All of y'all are under my rule, whether you say it or not. You don't know how significant this is, do you? You want to ignore it, don't you? I know, but I'm not, because it's me that's revealing it. I realize the significance of this. And I rule whether you accept it or not. I don't care. You don't have to ever say it. You don't have to call me a king. I rule from your ignorance. You can't act like you've been talking about it. You have not been talking about it collectively. You have not been talking about it collectively. No, you have not. Oh, you talk about the age of consent in Nebraska, but you ain't talking about it in the 44 states married children. No one ever gave you that sound bite. Go find somebody that had that sound bite. That's what I challenge you to do. Go find me somebody who has produced the sound bite on audio that can be proven to be before the time I did it in 2020, where 40 states is marrying children. 44 states got child marriage. The age of consent is under 18 in 40 states. 44 states marry children. I want you to find somebody, find some audio, find somebody who produced that soundbite on my level. You got to have both. You got to have somebody that everybody has famed, because you can't find somebody in the woods because they have not been exposing it. So if you find somebody in the woods, they talking about 44 states with child marriage, then where they at then? And even if you find them, they still didn't have the impact that I did. So you see, I'm undisputably the champion. Undisputably. Indisputable. I'm the indisputable champion. I'm the undeniable champion. I don't care if you accept it. Look, all these people sitting up here ripping and hooping and hollering about pedophiles, and come to find out you the one doing it. I know it hurts, don't it? It feels so good to me, though. It feels real good to me. Because you the one doing all this stuff, sitting up here hollering this stuff. Oh, crazy self. Yeah, I'm on it. You'll be on it too. They sitting up here talking crazy about you. Come to find out they the ones doing it. You're right. I'm definitely on it. Like I'm supposed to be. And that's what anybody with me would tell me to do. They've been talking about you. Get on it, bruh. Get on it. Get on it. That's what I'm doing. I'm on it. Get on it, bruh. They sitting up here talking about you and everything, playing games with you, playing psychological games. Get on it, bruh. Get on their head, bruh. Don't let up till they dead. That's what I'm doing. Until you fall as a system, I'm on your head. Because it's too much time that went by for you to say, oh, we're going to change over time. No, we ain't waiting for you to change over time. It's over. Yeah, that's convenient for people that's being paid by the government. That's what you want to happen. But it's not going to happen like that. Unfortunately, man, it's over. I don't want it to be over, but it is over. It's over. Nobody wants to deal with a country that has been sitting here passing laws as lately as the Trump administration. You have been passing child laws as lately as the Trump administration. Don't worry about me being a good person. I'm a right person. and right matters. You looking at it like I'm doing a good deed. This is not in the category of a good deed, buddy. Like I'm some mascot for children. That's not the case either. That's not the case. I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong with being those things, but this is not the case in this situation. What the case is, this is the resignation of America. It may sound dangerous to you, but it's nothing the feds can do. It's nothing the CIA can do. When you if anything, you should be willingly submitting to what I'm telling you. You got 44 states marrying children, bro. Okay, you got out of hand. You went into evil that no one knew about. And if you had any heart for children, then you know your time is up. Your time is up, man. We ain't trying to hear no explanation. You will only be offending me trying to explain. How you gonna explain? It's nothing to say. It's nothing to say. What you gonna say? With 44 states with child marriage, what you gonna say? And like I've been saying, okay, if you have a house that let's just put an example. Let's say like the system is a house, right? A real house, like a house. The system is a house. Let's act like all these child laws happened in this house. So you got the age of consent under 18 in 40 states in this house. So you got people having sex in this house with individuals under the age of 18. And that's one thing you have happen. That's one activity. The other activity, you have 44 states with child marriage in this house. So you got people marrying children. 44 children in this house. Let's just say 44 minimum. Being that it's 44 states marrying children. So you got 44 children being married in this house. You got the age of consent being under 18 in 40 states. So that's 40 children that's being sexed that's under 18. That's already 84 children. Then you got the age of consent under 18. You got the 20 states that had that married the children at any age. So you got 104 children already at any age with the last one. 20 children with no age minimum. You got all this activity in one house. And you got the world record in this house. You got the world record in this house. The world record is 7 years old. So you got 7-year-old girls and boys being sexed in this house. 7-year-old girls, right? What would you want done with that house? 7-year-old girls been sexed in this house. What you want done with that house? What you want done? Everybody would say, I want the house condemned. Right? If you knew 7-year-old girls being sexed in that house, you knew 44 child brides had been in that house. 44 child brides representing 44 states having child marriage. So you got 44 states, 44 child brides in the house, 7-year-old girls in the house. This is all representing what your government has passed by law. That's why this is a perfect war. This is a perfect war because I'm using their laws against them. I didn't have to shoot a gun. I didn't have to say, hey, we don't like you. We just want you to resign. We just don't like you. I showed you why. And I showed you why with their own laws. That's a perfect battle, buddy. That's a perfect battle. What you gonna say? You know we don't want you around no more. So, in the buildings, you got all this going on. And then you have, if it couldn't be any worse, like I told you, yeah, you got the age 7-year-old girls being sexed. Now, what you want done with that house? I'm say it again. What you want done with that house? You want it to be uh, uh, painted over. You know, all this has happened. And recently, too, in the last three years. So you look at this house up to date. And in the past, out of all the history, in the last 3 years, if it wasn't bad enough, 20 girls and boys are being sexed at no minimum age. Right? So now, up to date, you look at this house, you say, oh man, all this history. And then in the past 3 years, under such a relevant person, Donald Trump even, he's affected this house. He has a problem. He's caused something to happen with these children in this house. So now you're looking at this house and saying, man, even Trump caused a stench of pedophilia to be released in this house. It's like hell on earth, man. That law, the president, Donald Trump, had to review that law